Welcome to Hometown Headlines. This is Liam, and Weston is not actually here because he's getting a haircut, so he cannot be in it today. So for the 3-on-3 tournament, actually no, let's talk about weather first. And it was pretty cold this weekend. It ended up being down in like the 40s and the 30s even. So it was pretty cold this weekend, and next weekend's also supposed to be down in like the 40s. It's not supposed to be that good. But in between, we do have good 70s and 80s degrees. So that's going to be pretty good for the weather. And for the 3-on-3 tournament, we ended up being the fold-all pocket golfers. And right when we got there, we had to wait for a little bit. And then we played against the 4th grade freeze, who called themselves the Icebreakers. And we did end up doing pretty good that game. We played really good offense and really good defense. So that went pretty good, and we did hustle pretty good that game too. So what ended up happening is they had a pretty rough tournament because it was pretty unfair for them because they were all 10-year-olds and it was a 10 through 12 aged tournament. So they had a lot of physical disadvantages because of that. So and also we took Weston away from them because we used him as our point guard. So it did not do that good that game for them. And for our second game, we ended up playing against the Benchwarmers, who was a Thief River team. That was a very close game the whole time, but at the very end, we ended up winning by like 6 points. And I'd say I did play well defense on that game. Russell played really well defense and rebounding. Isaac got good defense and rebounding that game. And Weston played some pretty good offense for us too, and pretty good defense. I ended up playing pretty good offense that game too, and their team did really well too, but we ended up beating them at the very end, which is really exciting for us because they were a really good team. That was the 6th grade Thief River Falls team. And that was actually pretty exciting because when we usually play with them with my actual team, it ends up being like a pretty close game, and then we win by a little bit at the very end. And it was pretty exciting actually because that's even what happened here, and even with 2 4th graders on our team. So that ended up being a pretty exciting game for us. And for our third game, we played against the Northern Capybaras, which was the 6th grade freeze. That was a pretty close game the whole time. But at the very end, Weston fouled out, and we were down by a little bit. So we had to just shoot up a bunch of threes, and they ended up getting a lot of rebounds and getting a lot of points. So we ended up getting down by like 9 or 10 at the end. So I am happy for them. That was very fun. At least that was the game that we lost because that is a team that I was rooting for that tournament. So the 3-on-3 tournament was pretty fun. So, how Weston did that game was he didn't play his best because he was playing against Sutton, and him and Sutton play really similarly. That was, I did end up shutting Jace down, but he's very good at basketball, so it took out a lot of my energy, and that means I couldn't do great offense that way. Isaac did do really good defense on Jacoby. And Russell, even considering he's a 4th grader, still had really good rebounding and defense. So even with just 2 6th graders on our team against the rest of the 6th grade team, we still held our own against the 6th graders that game. So that was a pretty fun game. And for prom, I'm sorry, it was not prom. So the Capybaras ended up going to the championship that game, and they went against a really good team. And that ended up being a very, very intense game. It was very entertaining, and they did end up losing by a point at the end. So they did do very good that game, but it was just not enough. Now on to prom. That happened on Saturday. So for our cousins, Maddie went with Logan. I think too that Logan should get a growth spurt or something, cause I feel kind of bad for him because there was only 2 couples there where the boy was shorter than the girl, and I feel kind of bad for him. So I think Logan should get a little growth spurt. Kelby went with Brooke. Emily went with Carter, and Elijah went with Lexi. So now I'm gonna vote the top 3 best dressing boys and the top 3 best dressing girls. So for the top 3 best dressed men, there was Brandon, there was Gavin, and there was Eisen. And for Brandon, I thought he just had a really nice looking suit on. If I went to prom, that's probably a suit that I would wear. And Gavin did have a really good suit on too. Gavin had a cowboy suit on, and that did look pretty cool actually. But it's not something that I'd say I'd wear, but it actually looked really cool. And Eisen, he had it on a pretty plain dress, or not dress, suit. And he did have 2 girls kissing him though at the exact same time. So I'm gonna give him some bonus points for that. And for the top 3 best dressed women, I have Lexi. There was another woman that I thought dress looked pretty cool, and it was like a gothic looking dress, and it looked really, really cool. And there was one that had a leg spread, because I like it when the girls show the legs. So I thought that was some pretty good looking dresses. And for the gopher trapping recap, the first day we went gopher trapping, it was spring, and that's the days that they're most stupid. So we ended up catching, I think 9 or 10 out of 12 traps. So it was a pretty good day for us. And then right at the next day, we only caught 3 or 4 out of 12. So then it went down. So then it declined a whole bunch. But spring is usually when it's warmer is usually the best time to do it, because instead of plugging it, they're gonna go up to get some warm air, and then they'll get caught in the trap. And for flag football, I really like football, and I think it's a good thing that they have flag football, because it gets me ready for tackle football. And that's about all we'll have time for. So see you at the next episode.